Welcome to the show this lovely Friday. Matthew Marsden, Blaze TV contributor and actor and producer extraordinaire, along with Eric July, Blaze TV contributor and founder of Ripaverse Comics. Did you guys catch that guy that set himself on fire? I can't get over it. I assume guy.
I think we're going to see more of it, to be honest, because if you think, I don't know the last time where I saw something like that. And then you got the guy, the Air Force guy, right, that did it.
Yeah.
And now this guy's done it, which is, we have a real bad mental health problem in this country. People are crazy. Why would you do that over a politician?
Yeah. If the trash wants to take itself out.
I don't know, man. That's
just
there are more
efficient
ways for sure. I just don't understand. I guess maybe it is part of the doom and gloom that's caught grip on so many people in not just this country, but the world, that they feel like they have to go out there and send a message and by lighting themselves on fire. What message that is?
You're crazy. That's the message you're sending. You are absolutely crazy. That's it.
The message itself, if it's effective, or what the hell the message is.
It's very effective. I now know that you're crazy. It's very effective.
So maybe not to their message, but we know that there are folks, and to your point, that have some mental issues, because wanting to light yourself up on fire is already signifying that you have some problems, and doing it over these silly reasons that they're doing it is insane. Like a guy setting himself on fire because of what's going on in Palestine and Israel, and that's just insane. At that point, you're a nutty person. Like, you would think that you have more to live for. I would think, as an individual. And it's not like, hey, you set yourself on fire. Has this conflict been resolved?
Right. Well, and going to the Palestine and Israel issue, someone set themselves on fire. It's like, well, if you care that deeply about the issue, just go there and fight. If you're willing to die, which I'd imagine you're willing to die if you set yourself on fire. Okay, if you're willing to die,
take some of the enemy out with you.
Just go do that thing that you're that passionate about, rather than just being like, hey, I'm gonna take this match and see what happens.
You know what's concerning about that? That's the same mentality as the suicide bombers.
I know.
I know. And it's only a matter of time, I think, before they're going to start saying, well, hang on a second. Because the truth of the matter is, if they really thought it through, they'd realize it goes something like this. Oh, someone set themselves on fire. Oh, Kardashians.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. Like, nobody. It's not like it was back in the day where the monks sat down and they protested. It's just another thing to flick across on TikTok now. Yeah. Nobody cares. I don't even know how long ago it was that guy set himself on fire outside the embassy. But everyone just moved on. Listening, if we can move on about COVID and nobody gives a damn about something that shut down the entire world, nobody's going to care about a guy that sets himself on fire.
Yeah. So let's go back to what's happening with Israel and the idea of suicide bombers. I don't know. It just feels like every day we get closer and closer to World War III, which is just a little bit unnerving. So Israel, of course, launched their retaliatory strikes to Iran, and Iran decided to try to save face on Friday morning by dismissing the reports. But Israel did strike them. It was limited in scale, and of course, there was a back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So I could tell you it came in response to the unprecedented missile and drone barrage. It was, I think, 350 total. 7, I believe, actually went through. So it was limited in any sort of damage that was done, only because Israel has the Iron Dome protection that they have, right? Obviously, Israel would have been obliterated a long time ago if they did not have that. So thank God that they do have that. But Israel did finally strike back. They struck targets near the city of Isfahan. I'm going to pretend I said that correctly, which is home to the country's largest nuclear facility. I would imagine that we can expect this to just escalate between the two countries, because Iran finally said, okay, we're not doing this through our proxies anymore. We're not just going to have Hamas do it over in Palestine. We're just going to do it directly from our country, which hadn't happened previous. So escalation. Where does this end? That's my question.
It's like groundhog. Is that what they call like the whole Groundhog's Day? It's like, wait a minute, we're about to, because of course that conflict, it escalates. Then America gets involved in what is this, part 5 of Iran and the U.S.? Like, what in the hell is going on? War sucks. It always has. It's not pretty.
You say that, but it seems to me that our lawmakers really
they
want
love
us
it.
involved in
They love it.
There's incentive for them.
They love it.
They love it. Lawmakers love it. People that run for office absolutely love it, because that's a big talking point. Definitely when people feel like they are unsafe, you're going to always get it's an entire campaign is going to be ran on, hey, I'm going to keep you guys safe. So conflict is very, very attractive to politicians. So for them, it may not suck. They just see it as an opportunity for sure. However, just looking at people that are inevitably going to be caught in the crossfire, which is often civilians, because of what Lord knows who, is sad. It is very, very unfortunate, because as we always discuss with Israel and Palestine, it's always going to be chicken and the egg, right? It's
right.
Well, this is a retaliation to that, and then, well, depending on what side you're on, they're going to say, well, that was in retaliation to that, because you did this, and then how far we go back, it just depends on either way. It just seems like it's an inevitable conflict.
Which I just want to be clear, like, I know, this is just Sara Gonzales speaking for Sara Gonzales. I know which side of that argument I believe is correct, which is Israel, right? But that's the point that I was trying to make earlier, is like, I mean, you can go back to this was because of, this, in response to this. Of course, Palestine likes to go back like long time.
Century if
they're like, well, we attacked you October 7th because of something that happened a really long time ago. And it's like, you can't play that game anymore.
Yeah. It's like when you annoy your wife. If you annoy your wife, and you'll be there at dinner, and she'll be like off with you, and you go, "What's wrong?" Not my wife, by the way. My wife is awesome. And they'll go like, you'll say, like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And she'll go, "Do you remember when I asked you for the salt? And we were at this restaurant," and you'd be like, "It was 4 years ago." Yeah, well, you didn't send it to me. You didn't pass it to me. No, but I mean, look, these things are very, very complicated. And again, Sarah, we were talking about this before, that my stance on it is, what is our situation, right? Like, because they're going to do whatever they're going to do anyway, clearly. I mean, we do have a very, very strong president that said don't.
Ooh. Wait, he kind of muttered it.
Don't. I'm just glad he said that. I mean, that he had something coherent to come out and say. But what we have to be mindful of is the blowback here. And I know we've said it 1,000 times. There are sleeper cells in the United States, and they will be triggered. It's gonna happen. And when it does, that's when you're looking at something very, very serious. Personally, I mean, I know there's the back and forth. Again, I think that Israel is absolutely right in their responses. I actually wish they hadn't have responded this particular time, because nothing really got through. And I know you can say, well, it's only because of XYZ. I get it, but this is what the mullahs want. They want to escalate it. They want to drag other countries in. They want to drag America in. They want to do that. So I just wish that they hadn't have done it this time, because, all right, they can hit those locations precisely every time, but I just wish they hadn't, because I feel like it has escalated it again, and they're going to want to actually do some real damage next time. Yeah. Because if you think about Iran was like, hey, listen, we're going to attack you next week.
Right. But I mean, but you can understand, like, for me, I'm like, they just launched 350 drones, missiles, whatever at my country. Of course we're striking back. Who cares how many didn't get through? Because you don't play around with us. You don't mess with our country like that.
But they know that.
Understand that.
But they know that. I mean, look, the Iranians were funding the majority of. The Iranians killed more American troops than anybody else in Iraq. Yeah. Right? They were funding that. That's why killing Soleimani was such a great thing. I mean, that guy was evil, and they're responsible.
Hold on, who did that?
Yeah. I can't do it. The other guy died like a dog. On his knees, like a dog.
I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, Trump killed him. So, Remember that? Remember when we had actually a
strong, competent president who wasn't getting us, seemingly getting the globe into all sorts of foreign conflicts.
And isn't it amazing that every single thing that the left said that Trump would do, Biden has done?
Yeah, yeah.
But look, I think that, and we see this all the time because the Israelis are constantly getting bombed. They're constantly showing restraint, So again, I understand it, right? It's not like I object to what they did at all. Yeah. I do think, and again, this is a little bit of clarification. I know you think the same, is that standing with Israel doesn't mean that we have to fund them. That's a very
or send troops into their war or anything like that. Yeah.
But again, of course, I think that they are justified in their response. I just personally wish that they hadn't, because you're right. That was an opportunity where, like October 7th, they had to respond because it was a massacre. It was disgusting what happened. Nobody actually got killed this time, right, with the Iranian attack. So you could argue that that was the point where they could go, okay, and maybe this next retaliation that went back over to Iran, maybe they'll back off a little bit so they know it's not going to ramp up unless they really want to. Yeah. And if they do, there's nothing we can do anyway because it's just going to go through the roof.
If you like this clip and you want to see the full episode, click here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, come on, you know you do. Click here.